start things off with some Rev, shall we? We'll start off. We are once again talking about the LA streamers catching the shit. Haha. So, are we ready? SCP agents, are you on standby? Do you have your notations ready? SCP agents. I expect studious notes for any observations you may have, and I will expect a report on my desk in the morning. Are we understood, agents? Let's do this.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riv here. So today we have a lot to go over. We're going to cover some situations involving big streamers, the usual suspects who are once again being laughed at for their ridiculous behavior. We're going to be looking at some stuff involving epic girl boss Pokimane, who is once again sweeping for Hassan Piker in a very shameless manner. And also we're looking at Hassan once again crashing out over Asmongold, even though...
Yes. Oh my god, is he going to talk about what I think he's... I think I saw the clip of his talking about Hassan. I'm going to wait. I think I know about it. Like, Hassan was pissing and moaning and, like, or trying to, like, clap back at Asmongold, like, acting like Asmongold was upset he didn't get to go to the Streamer Awards, and just crashing out about it. If that's the clip, I think it is.
Asmongold had nothing to do with the situation he is initially crashing out about. In fact, Hassan goes as far as to give social lessons to Asmongold about how to be more likable around other people. That's very rich.
Oh my god, are we about to get Hassan trying to inflict a social credit score lesson for Asmongold? I swear to God, if Asmongold, or if Hassan tries to do like a social credit score lesson on Asmongold, I will laugh my ass off. Okay, by the way, do I still look in sync? Leo, you were saying something about audio desync. Did you try refreshing? Is my audio still in sync with my model? Do I look okay? Everything look in sync? Or do I need to do sort of a reset on my end? All look good? Okay, looks good. I just want to make sure my voice was synced up with my model. Okay, very good. Thank you.
But let's start with this. Some more fallout from the 2025 Streamer Awards. It was filled with all sorts of controversy and drama, but there was one very common theme, and that was stuff involving Hassan, who decided to show up to this event literally dressed as Chairman Mao. As pointed out by Ethan Klein here, this is a brutal and incompetent leader from Chinese history who is believed to be responsible for somewhere between 40 to 70 million deaths of his own citizens during a time where they weren't even at war with anyone. And also the outfit makes a lot of sense when you realize that under his...
Is my model... Okay, hang on. Okay, hang on. I will fix it. 1 second. Hi, how do I look now? How's the sync up now? Is the sync good, or do I need to do a full reset? Okay, Garrett, have a wonderful night. I'm synced back open? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so I'm synced up. Excellent.
His regime, they executed tens of thousands of dogs, seeing them as symbols of pampered bourgeoisie that his communist regime was out to eradicate.
And something, I don't know if Rev is going to mention this, when people were criticizing, like, on Twitter, this is how brain-rotted people on Twitter are these days. This is how uneducated people are on Twitter these days. And we can fault the schools for this one. Is that when people were criticizing Hassan for his Mao look, wearing a Mao suit, there were so many people in comment sections on Twitter that were going, "What's a Mao suit?" Like mocking, like, "Shut up, you moron. What the hell's a Mao suit anyway?" Like, the stupidity was mind-boggling. That, like, he's literally wearing a suit designed at, that Mao designed, and people are just like, what's a Mao suit, moron? It's like, oh my god, he's like only one of the greatest genocidal maniacs in human history. This man literally killed more people than Hitler. And it's like, you're too fucking stupid to realize that Hassan is standing for fucking Mao. He's literally standing for a genocidal dictator. You dumbass.
Wow, that's funny. It sounds like they hate every aspect of Hassan Piker as a person.
Forgot about that.
All social media is full of brain rot. Cheer 100.
True enough. True
Rev
enough.
pronouncing bourgeoisie wrong makes the pedant within me sigh.
I already gave him shit about that on that during that react. Don't worry. Don't worry, fam. I gotcha. I already called him out for that. Lovingly called him out for it.
And also his own dog. But anyways, he's gonna simp for Chairman Mao, and nothing's gonna happen because his circle of people in LA are spineless and won't do anything about it. But during the Streamer Awards, there was a very common theme of making jokes about Hassan shocking his dog. Here's one example.
Stay seated as much as possible. Hassan, if you see Sea-Dog get up, you can use your remote.
Yeah, guys, Hassan Piker is
We're seeing the embiggening early this video. Oh my goodness. Okay, agents, take note. This is much earlier than we've experienced in the past. The embiggening has occurred much sooner than normal. This is very important data and information. Please make note of this. Your research will depend upon this.
totally cool with all the Collargate jokes. That's why he's been totally not seething about it for the past 2 months or so. But the sweeping is going across not just his LA streamer circle jerk, but the sycophants on social media. Look at this. To this day, in response to the jokes at the Streamer Awards.
Okay. This guy is one of the biggest fucking glazers of Hassan that I've ever seen. Evan Loves Worf is a massive Hassan simp. He is all over on Twitter carrying water for Hassan in every way possible. Like, yeah, him and the Gato guy, they are literally doing everything in their power to try and just protect their beloved Hassan. And Evan Loves Worf, I got a news flash for you. You can carry water for him until the end of time. He still ain't gonna fuck you. I'm just saying. He's not doing you, fam. Just leave it.
People are saying stuff like this. They're joking about it, referring to Collargate and zapping his dog, because it didn't happen. We have returned to the ultimate copium. It never happened, is the narrative people are going with once again. And Godspeed on this ratio, by the way. I hope you achieve it. But yeah, that was a theme of the whole night. He was trying to either receive jokes about it or make jokes about shocking his dog. And it just shows how insecure he is about this. He's trying to literally ruin the joke so people stop making them. In fact, he's gone even further on his most recent episode of his podcast, praising the situation. He's now happy that he's being viewed as an animal abuser instead of a terrorist.
Oh my god, he's actually trying reverse psychology. He's literally trying to pull the most bullshit Pop Psych 101 social engineering bullshit that never works. And he's gonna try and flip the script on it and act like he likes it to fuck with people. So he's trying to do the reverse psychology where he's trying to make people think, well, if I like it, then they're gonna stop calling me that because I like it now. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Bob's your uncle. And he doesn't realize we know it bugs the shit out of him. We know it bugs the ever-living shit out of him. Because every time it's brought up outside of his little circle of friends, which, yes, this is included, anytime it comes up outside of his little circle because he knows that all of these people are just going to glaze him up, he's got no one to defend him. These guys, he'll talk about and those go, oh, Hassan, you're such a wonderful person. Let me just slurp and glorp on your inverted micropenis again. Yeah. But outside of his little friend group, they're not choking. And he can't take it. And it still bugs the shit out of him. Because we're not going to stop. We're going to keep sticking it to him. We're going to keep calling him an animal abuser. We're going to keep calling him a dog shocker. And we're going to keep calling him a communist and a terrorist sympathizer who hates America and should just fuck off to China because maybe they'll be happy to slurp on your inverted micropenis. America doesn't want you, Hassan. Fuck off back to China. Do us all a favor.
I wanted to thank you. Not because of all the controversy and stuff and no one yelled at me, but because there were jokes in the monologue that you had about me and Kaya that I had, of course, said yes to ahead of time. But it was cool because now I can joke about like the electrocuting Kaya stuff. So no one is calling me a terrorist.
Hey, Tomas, guess what I just did 5 seconds ago? I still call you a communist, and I still call you a terrorist. So guess what?
So that was a fucking lie.
I will happily still call you a terrorist, dumbass, because you are one. You are a terrorist sympathizing cock gobbler. You hate America. You advocated for the attacks on 9/11. You've advocated for the deaths of sitting U.S. senators and congressmen. You have advocated for the death of quote-unquote capitalist pigs. Yes, you are a terrorist, and I will continue to call you out on it, in addition to being an animal abuser. So guess what? You done fucked up. Because I literally just said it in this react. Before he even said that, I called him a fucking terrorist. Even before he said it in this video. No, Hassan. It's not going away. It's here to stay.
I realized because like past 2 years, everyone's like, "Oh, he's a terrorist."
Oh, I've
he's a
made
terrorist.
terrorist jokes about you, but no.
Oh no, that was
Wait.
fine. You making those are fine as well.
Wait,
but
what?
everyone-
You made terrorist jokes about?
I'll call him anything.
Yeah, me too.
But everyone was calling me a terrorist the past 2 years because of the Israel stuff, right? Which
We still call you a
sucks for
terrorist.
Israel because everyone's on my side now. Suck my dick. Anyway,
No, they're not. No, they're not, dude. They're not on your side, and they're not on your inverted micropenis. Yes, there has been talk that, yes, what he's trying to equate to being quote unquote on his side is that people are now looking at Congress and seeing how many people in Congress are getting campaign donations from Israel or Israel affiliated PACs. That is not the same thing as being on your side in regards to Israel. But because he's so desperate to be relevant, he's so desperate to try and catch a W when all he's been doing is catching L's, is he's equating people challenging Congress and challenging senators that are receiving these Israel-backed PAC donations for their campaigns as all of a sudden people are like, oh, we're against Israel now. And no, that's not it. People don't like the U.S. politicians taking money from foreign entities. It's literally as simple as that. Doesn't mean that people suddenly hate Israel and that they love Palestine and Hamas, because they don't, especially Hamas. Palestine is like, okay, there's people don't hate Palestine. People feel bad for the civilians of Palestine. They hate the terroristic leadership of it that are basically inflicting terroristic attacks along with Hamas. The Palestinian people are, generally speaking, people are sympathetic about. But it's the terroristic leadership of them that people just want to go away, if you know what I mean. Same thing with the Hamas terrorists. They need to go away. Same thing with the Houthi terrorists that Hassan was dick-sucking on his own stream. Well, that has not changed. The only thing that he's trying to equate is that, like, we do not want foreign governments funding the campaigns of our US politicians. It's literally as simple as that. Has nothing to do with hating on Israel. But again, he's so desperate for some kind of a W because he's been crashing out nonstop for probably the last 2 months that he's like, I'm gonna make it seem like this is a W, so maybe I can try and flip the script on all my haters and make it seem like I was actually right the whole time when he was still wrong. And everybody knows he was still wrong, and we're still going to call out that he was wrong, kinda like I'm doing. No, Yannicka, I wasn't saying anything specific. I don't know I didn't say AI PAC. That's not what I said. I was just saying like Israeli-backed PACs that are funding Congress people, which again is not like a knock against Israel. It's just like the people in America don't want a foreign nation funding funding campaigns for the U.S. politicians because obviously it could sway their opinion in terms of how they're going to deal with these foreign nations. The people of America just want, when it comes to campaign contributions, they don't want it coming from any foreign nation, and that's it. It wouldn't matter if it's Israel, wouldn't matter if it's Palestine, wouldn't matter if it's Saudi Arabia, wouldn't matter if it's France, wouldn't matter if it's UK, none of it. If it comes from outside the U.S., people don't want that because it's a foreign nation influencing politics, which, yes, has been happening for fucking centuries. You don't need to say it. I already know it. It's been going on forever and a day. The U.S. has been doing it too in other foreign nations. Yes, I'm very aware of it. I'm not just blindly going, oh, this never happens. No, I know it. I know it happens. But that is what has been like the thing about people with Israel lately. It's just like campaign contributions, and that's it. That's literally it. And he's very conveniently conflating this to, it turns out I was right, suck my dick, which, son, you don't have one. It's an inverted micro penis that you pretend it's a dick.
It's true.
Hey,
well, hold on.
Hey, you ever been on Fox News?
No, just get there. Yo, let's get there.
But my point is like that was like much trickier, I think, because like when people say that, then other people are like, "Ooh, what is it? Oh, well, like this guy's controversial or whatever." But now, like, oh, you zap your dog, it doesn't hit the same as terrorism.
Yeah, can you believe the shamelessness?
Yeah, again, 5 seconds before that clip played, I called him a terrorist, and I'll continue to do so. Moose, me too.
Of this
me
guy,
too.
he is literally giddy that people are viewing him as a animal abuser instead of a terrorist or a terrorist sympathizer. That's how low the bar is for Hassan. He is happy that that's how people view him now. And there's other comments from this clip we'll get to in just a second. But let's read some of the replies to this tweet sharing the clip. In quotes, I'd rather be an animal abuser than a terrorist, end quote. He's both. Those are not mutually exclusive labels.
Thank you,
in quotes, I'm only an animal abuser, guys, end quote. Let's call him a dog-zapping terrorist. He's trying to make the joke die out. That is exactly
and it will never die.
What he is doing. He is trying to act like he's cool with this. He's cool with these jokes, and he prefers it. But that's not the reality. He's been crashing out about it for, like, what, 2 months at this point, ever since Dogtober 7th, as they like to call it. Just a week ago, he had a literal mental break because of this image right here. He was walking down the street and someone approached him and simply posed for a photo holding up a meme from Collargate. Hassan literally went insane about this. In fact, he went as far as to compare someone posing next to him with a meme to Emiru being sexually assaulted at TwitchCon. Yes, he went there. In his mind, those two things are the same. I can't stress that enough, okay? That is the disgusting comparison he is trying to make. But anyways, there was another part of that clip where he made it very clear that Cutie Cinderella and the people on the staff at the Streamer Awards, they went to Hassan and made sure he approved of the jokes, which is really interesting because...
Wait! You know what? I don't think that they did. I think yes, they did. Like, yeah, I was going to get to that too, Atanashi. I don't think that Hassan approved the joke by Cutie Cinderella. I don't. I think he said that, like, I approved the joke. I think that was a part of his whole thing of like, I'm leaning into it and I'm like owning the joke. I don't think he actually approved the dog shocking joke. And he only said that in that post interview to make it seem like he's in on it now and he's taking ownership of it and it doesn't bother him anymore. But the reality is the Streamer Awards was a complete dumpster fire and run so terribly, nobody knew what the fuck they were doing. So no, I don't think I don't think any of the jokes were won by anybody the entire string. I think that Cutie Cinderella probably took, like, with her, what she did, and Fan and any other people, like, they basically, when it came to the jokes and the interactions, instructions were probably just riff it like you're on stream. And I think they actually had no fucking script, and they were just riffing, and they're really bad at it. Like, something like this may work on stream, where it's just you looking at text and not actually interacting live with another person. It doesn't work when you're actually in, like, an awards show and interacting with other people and can actually see their faces and their reactions when your joke bombs entirely, or better yet, pisses people off. That's my suspicion. So there was like little plan, a Cutie Cinderella, probably just her and everybody that she had out there just told them, just riff it. Just fucking go with it and just riff. And it did terribly. It did absolutely fucking terribly. And that was the other thing. Yeah, the editing for the Streamer Awards was so fucking bad. It was Hassan's editor that was doing all of the editing for the Streamer Awards. That's why when they bought up, when they flashed to a screen that was supposed to be someone from Hololive, they had just some guy with Hololive across the bottom of the screen. Like, the entire Streamer Awards, for this being like her, fourth or fifth Streamer Awards that Cutie Cinderella has done, this was an absolute shit show. Just from the clips alone I've seen, the Streamer Awards was an absolute dumpster, amateur hour dumpster fire. It was fucking terrible.
Clearly, other jokes during this event were not approved. And it shows, once again, favoritism and people propping up Hassan. But think about what happened to Kai Cenat. He was basically called Diddy by Fan, one of the people co-hosting this event. And he clearly didn't like it, okay? I mean, who would like that? Okay, yeah, it's a joke. It's an edgy joke. But he was called Diddy for his hairstyle, by the way, in front of all of his friends and peers and hundreds of thousands of people watching the live stream. And that was not something he approved of, clearly, and he didn't like it, which is fair. Fair reaction, especially when you don't know the person who's even calling you this. It's not like they're friends or anything. But going back to Hassan, all of this is showing immense favoritism. He gets all of the heads up, and he approved because he wants to continue to sweep this stuff on.
No, he didn't. He didn't. He's running cover. He's running cover for himself to try and make it, and he's trying to run cover for Cutie Cinderella too, in some way. He's trying to run cover for, because everybody's looking at Cutie Cinderella for how bad the Streamer Awards was. For the shit job at the Streamer Awards was, everybody's looking right at Cutie Cinderella for this, as they should. This was her show. She put it together. She owns it. She goes down with it. And so I think in addition to him pretending like he's leaning in on the joke and that he likes the joke now, in addition to that, I think he may have also been trying to run cover for Cutie Cinderella for making those really bad jokes.
Under the rug, but he's also coping in other ways by basically saying the whole room hated the Collargate jokes.
Everyone joked about the remote. Dude, no, honestly, people in the room were actually not the remote jokes at all. And it made me realize that, like, a lot of people on the internet, they love that shit, but a lot of people in the space were like, ugh. But
because maybe they don't want to get involved in that controversy with you, idiot. Yeah, they probably weren't fucking with the remote jokes because you're fucking like social poison right now because of this. especially the Kaya thing. And they probably don't want to take part in any of it. They don't want to get involved in it because people right now are focused on dumpstering on you. They don't want to get into the line of fire. They don't want to deal with it. Because, yeah, plenty of them have gotten roasted for defending you before. They're fucking done. They're done with you. They're going to save themselves and leave you to the wolves, as they should.
But I mean, I don't really give a shit. I obviously played it off well, but not really knowing what to expect this year because, like, you know, despite this being a fairly big year for me and this community as well, this is this has been my most like politically impactful year of my career for the past 12 years. This has been the most impact that I have directly had.
Yeah, because he's actually found communism when he went to China. That's why it's a big year for him. He got to LARP as a non-reporter at the LA riots. So he got to run around LA LARPing as a reporter wearing a fucking LBV with a fake-ass press badge on it. So he got to do that kind of play pretend like a 3-year-old. And then he got to go to China and just bask in the glory of communism that he loves so fucking much. Yeah, like now that basically the shit with Palestine is pretty much done, he's all about fucking China. People are pointing out like he didn't do the like people are saying like he's not like over Palestine or anything like that because when it came to like he was gonna do a debate with who was it? They like some news agency wanted to have him do a debate with I forget who it was now. Debate someone from the opposite side. And like Hassan like says now, bear in mind, Hassan says this. Yeah, Ben Shapiro, that's right. Yeah, no, Yardak. That not the Charlie thing. No, this is much more recent. There was a news agency, I'm not sure what, that said like we want to have you on to debate with Ben Shapiro, and the debate was going to be in regards to socialism, and Hassan claims he refused to do it because it wouldn't talk about Palestine, about the Israel-Palestine conflict. He claims that he wouldn't do it because they wanted to focus on socialism. And that they wouldn't talk about the Israel-Palestine conflict. Now, that's his claim. I don't believe there's any evidence to support it. Other than that, we have not heard fuck all about. I've not heard hardly fuck all about Palestine from him. It's all been about China. I love China so much. I worship China so much. He was basking in the communist glory hole for, a week or something, and now he's all about China. That's why he's posting his fucking Twitter feed. I'm in a very China time in my life, which, by the way, is the same thing that fucking Pokimane said on his stream. The two communist assholes are like, I'm in a very Chinese moment in my life, and he's just all about fucking China. Yeah, he's like the Palestine grift has run its course, so now he's going to the Chinese communist grift. He jumps grifts, and for whatever's like a hot button thing, so he can glaze up his, people in his chat and get money from them. Then that's it. In the end, he doesn't care about any of it. He'll care about China if China would be like, pay him a boatload of fucking money to act as like a Chinese influencer. Yeah, that's when he'll care about China. It is like if basically the Chinese government gives him like the Steven Seagal treatment, like Putin did for Steven Seagal, and says, "Oh, come live in China. You come live in China. We give you a lot of money, and you go on TikTok and you talk about how good China is. You come here, Hassan. You come here to China." That's when he'll actually give a shit about China, is if they pay him. Otherwise, he don't fucking care. It's all a grift.
This community has directly had. If there's one thing that I think has ruined streaming, it's the drama. It's the endless drama baiting.
You created most of it.
You know?
You created
it's
most
the endless drama baiting and the parasocial nature of like how certain fandoms will lean into certain agendas, right?
I gotta be honest, out of all the jokes that were told that night, the Collargate ones landed the hardest. Not to say they were perfect, the delivery from these hosts were absolutely terrible.
Oh, God,
But yeah,
yeah,
he's
they
acting
sucked.
like the room was completely upset. I think people are just happy to see anyone poking fun at the situation with him present in the crowd. But now it's even less impactful because we know he approved of these jokes in advance. But
Still don't
he's
think he
saying
did.
that most people
I still
didn't
don't
like it.
think he
They thought, ew, this whole situation's gross. Don't joke about that. Well, here's the comments on this post. The voices in his head, maybe referring to the people who are upset about the jokes, are the people in the room with us now, dog abuser Piker.
Oh.
Because it's the LA streamer echo chamber fellatio awards, bro. Hassan can't be this dumb. He can.
Yes, they can.
It's probably his worst year in my opinion. I mean, his career and image is perma-damaged even if he's not falling off or losing fans, no matter how he looks at it. And there is no one.
I think he is losing fans. I would be very curious to see if there's bots in Hassan's stream. Because I think, like, people go to his stream, like, half of Hassan's chat is there to troll him. That's that. First and foremost, half of his chat is there to troll him. The other half, there's some glazers, but he's had, like, 16-month subscribers ripping him apart. Like, people that have been in his chat for fucking years, that have been subscribed to him for years, are starting to shit on him live on stream. And he's banning multi-year subscribers from his chat because they're dumping on him. I'm legitimately curious how much of Hassan's audience are bots. I would be really curious to see, for someone to investigate, to see how much of his chat are botting. That could be quite interesting. Because I do think he's falling off, and I do think he's definitely probably losing subscribers, but I think he's losing chatters as well. And I have no evidence to support this. This is 100% supposition. Let me be clear. I have zero evidence to prove this. I'm not making an accusation of any kind. I am conducting a thought experiment. But I would be very curious to have someone investigate his chat and determine how many of them are actual chatters and how many of them are bots. I'd be very curious to know.
To blame but himself. All this drama goes back to him for what he says and how he responds. Yeah, big year for him politically, getting disavowed by his heroes, stuff like that. But you can see this comment he made about this year being his most politically impactful year. That's funny. I think the biggest.
Oh my God, he's still trying to pretend like he made Zoran Mondami's election happen. He's still trying to ride Mondami's cock and pretend like he's got an in with him and that he made his win in the election possible, when Hassan was actually rejected during the debates. And when he went to Mondami's party, they actually told him, "Sir, you're not on the list." And they kicked him out of his party, and he pouted. And honestly, that's when he started his heavy drinking. If you notice, ever since the election, that's when we started seeing him, like, basically showing up on stream drunk. Like, after the thing with Mondami, that's when he set up his trip to China. And, like, most of his streams after the election, he was drunk. He was drunk during most of it. So, yeah, no, he hasn't had a politically impactful, impactful year. It's been the exact opposite. The political people that you are desperately carrying water for and desperate to suck them off have said, yeah, thanks, no thanks. You can go sit in the cuck chair, Hassan. You get comfortable over there.
Impact he had was shocking his dog Kaya. That was some maximum impact if you're asking me. But yeah, this year was very impactful for him. Negatively, okay?
Yes.
There's so many things he's said over the past year that make him look awful. He has become a sycophant for communism, like full-fledged soy-facing when receiving the Little Red Book. All these things, and now he's known as the dog zapper. That is his legacy now. And
And honestly, he made a huge fucking mistake by shifting away from Palestine and reorientating towards China. Because with Palestine, you had plenty of a populace in America that continue to stand for Palestine. There's still the Free Palestine like riots or parades or whatever. There's still plenty like normies actually because the Free Palestine movement is still prevalent in the States, people still know about it. China, everybody looks in China and goes, okay, you can buy really cheap garbage shit from them. And they have a communist government that that has a social credit score and locks down their internet. And so instead of sticking with Palestine, which he had a lot of backing for, with basically the brain rotted lefties like DEI, SJA morons in the United States, that he still had a big fandom with them because they're idiots and he's like their messiah. He instead pivoted to China, which nobody is standing for. There's no movements in the U.S. to quote-unquote free China. Nobody gives a shit about China. So when he made that pivot to communism, people are like, what? I want nothing to do with this. And then people started jumping ship from Hassan. Yes, useful idiot, Yannicka. Exactly right, useful idiot. And yes, there is a vehement dislike of China because of everything that has been happening with China and the US in the last like 10, 15 fucking years. Yeah. So he actually pivoted to China, glazed the fuck out of it, and is actually calling himself Chinese and goes Pikachu shock face when people like don't like him anymore. Or goes into denial. He goes into denial that his audience is fleeing from him. Because he's an idiot. He thought by pivoting to communism, he could, like, tap an untapped fandom, only to realize there is none. When it's too late.
Gotcha, bitch!
To address what he said earlier in the other clip, nobody's gonna forget you sympathizing for terrorists. No one's gonna forget you platforming them or praising terrorist organizations like Hezbollah and others. Like, nobody's gonna forget this. But the first and foremost thing people think of when they think of Hassan right now is dog abuser. Congratulations, what an impact. Good for you. But a big part of this shows again the sweeping. That is a very common theme throughout this video. It's the sweeping that people do for Hassan to try to help him, I don't know, remedy his terrible reputation. And one of the
Andrew, you mean President Winnie the Pooh? Is that who you're referring to, tapping Hassan's ass? Would that be President Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, you're right.
The greatest examples of this comes from the girl boss herself, Pokimane.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Listen to Pokimane's response on this. I'm actually going to up the volume in OBS so you guys can hear. So Rev might be sounding a little bit loud here for a second. But she says this very quietly. Listen to how she reacts to this.
Examples of this comes from the girl boss herself, Pokimane, who recently was doing a media share stream, and someone sent in a clip of Hassan abusing his dog. And boy, she responded in a very interesting way. Sweep, sweep, sweep is basically what she did.
Sure. Hey.
Mods. Do I have mods?
Did you hear the way she said that? She brings up the Hassan pulling his dog's tail clip. And like literally in like 2 seconds. And then she's like, mods. Like, did you hear the hoity-toityness in her voice? Hang on, I'm gonna play it back. Listen to the hoity-toityness in her voice. Hang on, I'm gonna shift over slightly so you guys can get the full appreciation of this. Wait, hang on. I went too far.
Sure. Hey.
Mods.
See, the way she was just like, bots, like, so Karen-like. That was like a fucking Karen, like, where is your manager? She went like the soft, annoyed Karen voice with that. And what's so funny is, she's defended Hassan. Rev is probably about to say this, but I want to say it first, because it's my streak. She has defended Hassan with everything she's got, that he has not abused his dog. That he has not abused Kaya. She's bent over backwards and turned herself into a pretzel to proclaim that Hassan never abused Kaya, that he's wonderful with Kaya and would never do something like that. She pulls up this clip and immediately knows what it is and kills it and goes, mods, although she did it very softly. Because what she was doing is she was basically saying like, mods, why didn't you get rid of this? Why didn't you warn me about this? Why didn't you tell me I was going to watch a clip of Hassan abusing another dog that I know actually happened and killed it before you could actually see the abuse? And she has been vehemently defending Hassan, saying, oh, he never abuses dogs. Yet she instantly recognizes it as a dog abuse video and stops 2 seconds in. Really, Pokemon, I thought Hassan never abused dogs. I thought he would never do that. Cave Spider, the whole thing about her mods turning against her was a different scenario where it was like there was a video that they refused to upload. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what it was about exactly. It was many weeks ago. It was like Pokimane did like her podcast with someone else, and they talked about something like they had a take on it that was like really terrible. And was it the Hassan? Oh yeah, it was the Hassan interview right after the Kaya thing. That's right. Yeah, she did the interview on her little podcast with her friend, and her editing team refused to upload it. Yeah, Lily Pichu. Yeah, her editing team refused to upload it because they thought it was a bad idea after all this thing. Like, this is when the Colorgate thing literally first blew up, and her editing team said, we're not going to upload this because this is going to look really fucking bad on you if you upload this literally like a day or two after Colorgate happened. And then Pokimane probably fired all of them because she said they're going to be going through restructuring changes. So probably the people that were trying to protect her, she probably fired. Yeah, she didn't care. She wanted it up, and she didn't care about how it looked, and didn't care that her team was trying to actually protect her, and they got fucked over for it. Oh yeah. She didn't have her engaged. Did she not have it on? I couldn't see her hands here, so I don't know if she had her little fake ass engagement ring. Oh wait, at the awards toolmark. Oh, she didn't have her. Yeah, toolmark. The suspicion is her whole "I'm getting engaged myself" was actually a sponsorship. That's the running theory. Is she didn't actually believe. She didn't actually wasn't actually quote unquote getting engaged herself with all the bullshit that she said. The running theory right now is the jewelry, the jewelry maker gave her the ring as like a sponsorship thing because she was like glazing up the ring on stream. Like, look at how beautiful this is. And so the suspicion is they basically did a like either under the table or a quiet little sponsorship with her, and she doesn't actually believe in the whole getting engaged to myself thing.
Do I have mods?
This is absolutely phenomenal in all the worst ways for people like Pokimane and Hassan. It proves these people will do anything to sweep for their LA streamer friends, no matter how dumb it makes them look. Now, for context, the full clip of what she's reacting to, right here. See that dog and its tail wagging? Hassan would grab his dog's tail right there and
Yep.
yank it backwards and then say he's going to effing kill it. Okay?
Yep.
Now, for those who don't know, pulling on a dog's tail is very dangerous.
bad.
In fact, it can paralyze a dog. So it's just straight up abuse. Okay? There's like no questions about it.
Yeah. Why do you think, like, people misconstrue, like, when like when small children are around dogs and those small children grab and yank on a dog's tail and parents say, no, don't do that, and they scold their children for pulling out a dog's tail, it's not because it's not necessarily because they're worried about the dog whipping around and snapping at the child, although that is certainly a risk, and that's one reason why to like teach your children don't grab a dog by the tail. It's because if you grab a dog's tail, yes, it is connected to the dog's spine, and if you yanking on it, you could like basically dislocate it. Which, if you dislocate the dog's tail from its spine, yes, you could fucking paralyze it. Because where the tail meets the base of the spine, that connective portion is right where the rear hips are. So if you yank on the dog's tail and you cause a dislocation or you cause damage to its spinal cord in that way, what do you think is going to get affected with the damage to the spinal cord? The hips are right there. So you could basically half paralyze the dog by pulling on the tail and dislocating it. Yeah, it's like there's a difference between giving like gentle little light tugs, not actually pulling. Like if you like gently just kind of like go tug, like a gentle little tug with like minimal, playful, but Hassan actually pulled on this dog's tail so hard, he physically moved the dog backwards about a foot in this video. When he grabbed this dog by the tail and pulled it, he literally dragged the dog back by approximately a foot. And the amount of force that you have to exert on the dog's tail when you pull to move it back a full foot by just the tail alone is potentially enough to damage or dislocate and thus potentially paralyze the animal. It's not good. Animal abuse. Straight up animal abuse.
Now, Pokimane, who, she's a epic gamer, and honestly, I believe it now, because her reaction speed to this clip, how fast she paused it, I mean, that is some, like, world first parse type reaction speed right there. It's amazing stuff. And it tells us two things. Number one, only seeing a few frames of this clip, she already knows it. She already recognizes this clip because she's clearly seen it before. Which tells us, she knows about all this stuff involving Hassan. And number two, it shows that she will overlook anything for her friends in LA, including Hassan.
Because 2 points of failure. Number one, if she didn't know what it was, she would have just let it play out. Number two, if she did know what it was and she doesn't think Hassan is an animal abuser, why would she not let it play through instead of pausing it literally a couple of frames in? If she doesn't think he's an abuser and doesn't think what he did is abuse, why would she pause it that fast? Hypocrisy. Thy name is Pokimane.
Fact, it's not like Pokimane collabed with Hassan like 3 years ago and just kind of like hasn't said anything about him as a result of Collargate. No, she collabed with him during Collargate and ignored everything going on. She tried to feign ignorance and act like she had no idea what's going on and she doesn't have all the facts. Oh, she has all the facts. She knows all the clips, she knows all the controversy, but she doesn't care. If this was anyone else, if this was Asmongold or someone she doesn't like,
No, because she doesn't care because she can use Hassan's quote-unquote fame to boost herself up. Just like all the LA streamers that are still quote-unquote friends with Hassan, they're using him to try and elevate their own popularity. And so they will overlook how much of a piece of shit scumbag Hassan is. They will overlook that he is an animal abuser. They will overlook that he is a terrorist and terrorist sympathizer. They will overlook the fact that he has called for the deaths of sitting U.S. congressmen and senators and quote unquote social capitalists. Excuse me. Like they will overlook all this because he still has enough, he has just enough of a following that they can use him to boost their own popularity and give themselves a boost in followership and money. And that's what it all boils down to. They can use him to elevate themselves and make more money.
Doesn't care. If this was anyone else, if this was Asmongold or someone she doesn't like, she'd be torching that individual. But Hassan, she overlooks it. This clip is about as telling as it can possibly get about how shameless...
No, Kaibo. They will not overlook the inverted micropenis because they're all desperately lapping at it, trying to get some of that sweet, sweet influencer dribble out of it.
And fake these virtue signaling streamers are. But hey, while we're on the topic of Pokimane, this is slightly off topic, but I wanted to cover this other clip a couple days ago, but it just kind of like fell through the cracks. So let's watch Pokimane share a message about celibacy?
Tell you a secret? I'm really into celibacy, and that can range from not kissing on the first date to saving yourself for marriage. It's a whole spectrum, and honestly, there are so many upsides to pacing yourself when it comes to intimacy. For starters, you can avoid becoming attached to the wrong person.
And she's trying to promote celibacy while she's in, like, I'm not sure, it's hard to say, is it? Like, while she's doing her full makeup and beautifying herself and wearing this, I'm trying to see if this is I think this is a bustier or a corset. Like, what the fuck, sweetheart?
When it comes to intimacy. For starters, you can avoid becoming attached to the wrong person. We all know what that's like. And that's because both physical and emotional intimacy releases oxytocin, which makes you feel connected to someone, even though you may not be compatible. We often think that falling in love is a mystical, rare...
Okay, dear God, I'm getting fucking motion sick from this edit cut. Like, what? I don't know how anybody could even focus on her voice. Like, the freaking machete editing is, like, literally making me starting to make me physically ill. The cut every fucking second. But she's doing more cuts than fucking Taken 2. Or the Bourne movies. And that's fucking impressive. That she can outcut the Bourne movie, like the Bourne Supremacy and Taken 2. Like, holy shit with this.
Experience, but sometimes it's really just hormones and chemicals. 2, I get to preserve my energy, and instead of constantly pouring into someone else, I can focus on the things...
Okay, I gotta say it. Chat. Listen.
Of my energy, and instead of constantly pouring into someone else...
Pokimane, I think you're getting this backwards. You're not doing the one pouring into someone else. The someone else is pouring into you. I'm just saying she got herself a little mixed up. She got it a little backwards. That's all I'm saying.
I can focus on the things I want to accomplish first.
Ladies and gentlemen, a classic case of good message, bad messenger. I don't want to buy anything that Pokimane is selling right here. One of the biggest narcissists you'll ever see. In fact, she's the one who, about a week ago, we talked about this. She literally engaged herself. She bought herself an engagement ring and engaged herself. Like the ultimate narcissist move. But yeah, here, she's saying basically you should like figure yourself out, pick the right person for a relationship, even save yourself for marriage. I mean, these are positive things to share, but it's the wrong messenger. I'm not buying it from Pokimane, especially she's doing this whole like purity spiral here. She is someone who quite literally created or...
And what do you want to bet? Kind of like how the engaged to herself thing is suspected that was a sponsorship by the ring company. What do you want to bet this video that she did was sponsored by the makeup company? Betcha. I will bet you that all the makeup she was applying what do you want to bet that this video was a makeup sponsorship? And she was talking about celibacy and making herself beautiful with all that makeup, and the makeup company paid her to make that video. I will betcha anything. Because Pokimane would not put out a video like that unless she was getting paid.
Forced Twitch to create an IRL tab and category on their platform because of people like her. There are endless...
Revan, if she's not actively promoting it, then you could maybe run into hot water, but she was not actively promoting it. It was basically a prop in the video, but you could see the brand logos. And so in that case, I don't know, legally speaking, or even morally speaking, how it would fit if she didn't disclose that she was like sponsored by that, because she wasn't like, it wasn't like front and center or anything. She wasn't doing a promotion of it. She wasn't saying like, this is great makeup, I use it all the time. So it might not. It might not be problematic in that respect.
Tab and category on their platform because of people like her. There are endless clips of her doing very provocative things that she's clearly doing on purpose to be clipped. And, like, an example of this, like, if you search, like, if you're trying to find, like, an image of Pokimane for, like, a video, right? Like, a normal image, just be like, oh, here's Pokimane. I don't even want to ever again search her name in a search engine, no matter the platform. I'm never doing. I don't care if it's Google Images. I am not searching Pokimane anything, because the results are so degenerate and cursed, it's unreal. And then the real stuff is basically like her trying to show off for the camera, whether she's like bending over in front of the camera, or she's taking like provocative angles, or she's like showing off her feet and doing stuff like that. Like, she knows what she's doing. And now she's in this purity spiral, basically telling people all this advice. You're not the right messenger.
Yannicka, that's just it. There is no difference between them. Pokimane and Valkyrae are literally cut from the same mold. There is no difference between them. They're both completely vapid LA streamers that are coasting on that are counting on their looks to make them famous in the streaming sphere. That's it. There's no difference between either of them. Their streams are just like, I'm just gonna sit here and look pretty, because the clip we saw was literally her sitting in her chair looking pretty. That was the clip that we saw. Valkyrae, same thing. All of these women LA streamers, that's all they have. They sit on stream, look pretty, and expect their simps to give them money. That's all they got. They don't have fucking personality. They don't do anything fun to engage their chats. They just sit there and look pretty and think it's enough. That's why the LA streaming sphere is losing out to VTubers. That's why the LA streamers hate the VTubers, because we're getting all of their viewers. They're done with just sitting in a chat watching a pretty streamer look pretty and that's it. And they go find the VTubers who also, generally speaking, look pretty, but have personality. That's why they hate us.
For it, and it's just kind of, fake, as you would expect at this point. But here's the part of the video where the Asmongold derangement syndrome is hitting hard. Anything that happens to Hasan, more than likely he's going to somehow drag Asmongold into the situation.
Oh, yes.
And that happened again with the streamer.
And yes, Yannicka, you are correct. TikTok, they be getting older. VTubers will never age. Because VTuber pussy is the best pussy because it never gets old. We will stay young and supple while they get old and crusty.
Awards, where now Hasan, of course, the guy with the immaculate PR, is wagging his finger in Asmongold's face, saying that there's a reason you weren't invited to this event, and it's because you don't have social skills, and that you have a negative impact on things.
And I say this as someone who, once again, literally third most watched streamer in 2025.
Okay, hang on. Before we listen to Asmongold vomit up a bunch of bullshit, can we just talk about this hair? Can we talk about this hair situation right now? What the fuck is this hair situation? What in the ever-loving fuck am I looking at right here? Like this, the Lilu hair. Actually, I think that's pretty cool. I think you're right. You're right. Oh my god. I am ashamed of myself that I didn't catch that immediately. I thought in my head that it was Zorg. Like, why does he have the Zorg hairstyle? Oh my god, I deserve a bonk for this. I deserve a bonk for this, that I did not immediately catch on, especially with the Lilu cosplay, that they were doing Fifth Element. Oh my god. Somebody bonked me. Thank you. I deserve that. Okay, I will take the barrage too. I deserve that. It momentarily went over my head. Okay. Moving on. It never happened. Chat, this never happened. Right? Right? Never happened. Right? Yes, I know. What is it? Emmanuel, yeah, Baptiste Emmanuel Zorg. Yeah.
I won 0 nominations. You know, it was my most impactful year in terms of politics. 0 nominations. If I'm not complaining,
What political streamer won the Streamer Awards? Reasonably sure not a single political streamer won any award at the Streamer Awards at all. In fact, I'm reasonably sure Cutie Cinderella made sure that there was not a single political streamer in any of the nominations. Reasonably sure. And yeah, it's his biggest year. No, it wasn't. So he's fucking lying there. Yeah, and Asmongold doesn't okay, let's let him just spew his bullshit before I say something.
why the f is anybody else complaining? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know, calm down. It's ridiculous. And if you're upset about like not being invited or whatever, maybe you should think about how you conduct yourself or how you carry yourself or what your impact is in this space.
Asmongold wasn't upset that he didn't get invited. In no way, shape, or form was Asmongold upset that he was not invited to the Streamer Awards. He knew he was not. He flat out said, I'm never going to get invited to the Streamer Awards. He knows that, and he doesn't care. He probably would. I would even go so far as to say, as if Asmongold did get invited to the Streamer Awards, I would even go so far as to say he might decline it. The Streamer Awards is not his scene. It's not an event he likes to go to. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, well, it's meaty. He's projecting. He's projecting. He wants Asmongold to be upset, so that way he can have some kind of a win over Asmongold, because Hassan got to go and Asmongold didn't go, and so he's desperate to play pretend and LARP that Asmongold was upset about not going to the Streamer
Hassan
Awards.
is projecting because he thinks Asmongold is just like him when they're nothing alike.
No, he doesn't think Asmongold's just like him. He thinks he's better than Asmongold, and he's pissed that he's not. And he's desperate to always try and come up with some fictionalized story to make it seem like somehow he is better than Asmongold, because he's desperate to get a one-up on him.
I will take the barrage. That's literally what she said. Smiley face.
Shut up, big target. Shut up.
Okay? You're not complaining because your friend put it on? Bro, no, brother, no.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing it as
Yes.
as a positive thing overall. It's not good to be totally cut off from the rest of the space. It's my greatest strength, I would say, is that I have the capacity to socialize with people, unlike many of my other counterparts in this sphere, in a way that like Asmongold can't, for example. He could. He just he could do it too. It's just his politics are doo-doo.
Yeah, the dog zapping terrorist sympathizer is now trying to tell people like Asmongold to self-reflect on why they're not invited to events like the Streamer Awards. That is incredibly rich, because this guy was invited to the event and featured in countless clips, by the way, despite not being nominated for a single award. Don't you find that strange? We'll talk more about that in just a second. But yeah, of all the people to wag their finger at someone else and say, like, you have bad PR and you don't know how to socialize like this dude. No, again,
Tanashi, you're right.
Bad messenger.
He was featured because they used his editor. That's it exactly. He probably told Cutie Cinderella, "You can use my editor, but I need to be able to talk to people on the quote unquote red carpet, and you need to feature me in some points." I have zero doubt that was the case.
And Asmongold would respond to this and other connections people are trying to make, basically saying, they're both like people who share some hard opinions that can get them in trouble. And he responds to why people don't like Hasan and flips it back on him, because at the end of the day, you can collab and do all this effort, but you're the dog zapper guy now.
My background doesn't matter. The level of force.
If you have a extensive political science background and the culmination of that career, the biggest footnote that you've made is the fact that you've shocked your dog, I don't think this is really the thing that you want to go off of.
Yep.
I don't think that makes you look good. Like, you telling me you went to school for this, you've had a career for this for 10 years. I say before, I say it again. If you build 100 bridges...
Well, it not only that, I will expound upon this slightly. Not only has he professed that he's gone to school for this and gotten a degree in political science, that he is one of the greatest political commentators of all time. Not only that, he's going to be remembered for shocking his dog. He's also going to be remembered for getting rejected by every political figure that he has stand for and carried water for. And he has been rejected by them, every single one of them, publicly. For the man who likes to pretend he is some political genius and that he's got a poli-sci degree and he is an expert in the political theater, every single political individual that he has carried water for has rejected him publicly and humiliatingly. Every single one. The latest one being Mandami, that publicly distanced himself from Hasan, said what Hasan said was wrong in a national debate, and rejected him from his fucking victory party by saying, "Sorry, sir, you're not on the list." And yeah, like Bernie Sanders, like the interview with Bernie Sanders was shit from what I remember. I don't even know about Omar and Ileana Omar at AOC. He's been rejected. Nobody listens to him. Every time he tries to profess that he is a political commentator, they just go, "Yeah, you're not on the list. Get the fuck out." So it's not only that his footnote is going to be he shocked his dog. It's also going to be he's been rejected by the political theater itself. And the only time he is a quote unquote political commentator is on his street. When he goes into the real world and tries to be a real boy, they all go, "Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here."
You suck one, you're not a bridge builder, you're a dick sucker. If you go to 100 political rallies and you help 100 political candidates, but you shock one dog, you're not a political activist, you're a dog zapper. Sorry. I didn't make the rules. Well, I've always said you need to start collabing with other creators who are more aligned to your system and beliefs. You need an ideological front, dude. I don't really again, I don't treat collaborating with people as an opportunity to push some sort of agenda. I don't know why he does that. I think it's cringe. I think a lot of other people think it's cringe. That's why they don't collab with him. But in a general sense, obviously some people do. We got invited to the event, sure. But in a general sense, people don't want to have anything to do with him. So I feel like that's, I don't want to do that either because it's weird.
He's absolutely right. At this point, he could do whatever he wants. He's the dog zapper guy, okay? Yeah. I feel like maybe because it's more of a PG label than the other stuff he's been called, maybe that's why it sticks so hard. But the whole Collargate situation broke the mold, okay? It went mainstream. And a lot of people are aware of this. I mean, it made national news and stuff. And that's who he is. He's just the dog zapper guy now.
Yep.
And that sucks for him because this guy wants to be known as some politically savvy guy. And now he's just the dog zapper Twitch streamer. And that sucks for him. Other people maybe wouldn't care about not being taken seriously in those fields. Asmongold doesn't care about being taken seriously for his political opinions, but Hasan does. He went to school for this stuff. He has made his whole life about this, but no one's ever going to take him seriously because he goes around LARPing.
And that's what pisses Hasan off the most. Is that he went to school for this. He got a degree in this. He professes himself to be the premier political streamer. That he is the god among political streamers. Listen to him. He knows everything. And everybody listens to Asmongold, who is the Roach King. Who did not get any formal education in political science. Just calls it like he sees it and is typically right. And he fucking hates it. Hasan hates the fact he had this insanely wealthy upbringing. He had nepotism to get him where he is. He had his schooling. And Asmongold, who literally grew up poor and fought and clawed his way into wealth, Asmongold came from nothing. He earned literally everything that he's got through hard work and dedication and sheer fucking will. Knows more about politics than Hasan ever will. And people listen to him because most of the time he's actually right. And oh, does that burn Hasan's ass every time. That's why Asmongold lives rent-free in Hasan's head. Because this nobody who came up from nothing became the most popular streamer in the world, and people actually listen to him. And they don't listen to Hasan.
Like he's a Chinese ruler, a brutal ruler, and simping for terrible regimes constantly, and then he zaps his dog on top of it. But like I said just a couple minutes ago, there's an interesting thing that was discovered by people like XQC. They found out that during this Streamer Awards, the editors of this event, they work for Hasan.
Wait, did Oxtonox edit this?
A stream duo and a performance by Ty Dolla $ign. I'm
TNT.
I mean, that makes sense. Now I get it. I get it. I mean, guys, I thought I just fell off that hard, but I mean, if Hasan's edited this thing, I mean, it makes sense. I'm knowing this shit. That's crazy. I debunked it. Another win for the debunker.
Bring people.
Not one Asmon clip. I mean, so we want his opinion.
Shocking.
He's had a few clips.
No Asmon clip.
At least one clip.
No Asmon clip, and I'm wondering how many VTuber clips were there also. How many of those clips that Hasan's editor was flashing through were all the LA streamers? It was just all the LA streamers, no Asmongold clip, no one that's in Asmongold's orbit outside of maybe Emaru and her group, no VTubers. Yeah. No big surprise that it was Hasan's editor that worked on this.
Look, Hasan is no zone clip, but me in a maid outfit actually edited the whole thing. That is wild, brother. Dude. I could be the most mauled about somebody for one stream, and I'll act like whatever and I won't ever act any differently. This guy is mad for his boss, and he's actually editing the whole thing around his personal drama. This guy is such a cuck. That's just sad. That's just sad. Buddy, how are you letting these random people that don't even know you exist control your life? That's crazy.
Yeah, so this explains why Hasan, who's not even nominated for a single award, is featured in more clips than probably anyone else. It's obvious because his editors are glazing him up and promoting him, despite really the fact he shouldn't even be there in terms of the clips. He wasn't involved in any of the awards. In fact,
I gotta say it. I'm not even supposed to be here!
XQC was actually nominated for an award. He did not win, but he was actually nominated, but he wasn't featured in anything. He was excluded by these editors. And it makes a lot more sense when you see how they reacted to the related clips, where one of them said, no offense to XQC, but I had to edit a chain of streamers nominating each other, which was easy for most of the people featured. It's just that not many people nominated you for anything. Would have been hard to fit. Couldn't guess why, since you've always been so nice to people. So, as an editor, you're going to botch your job because you believe one of the people who's actually nominated is not nice to people? Is this a nice guy competition? Because guess what? You'd have to consider Hasan someone who treats people nicely. Yeah, I don't think that one adds up. And also, like, you're saying XQC wasn't nominated for many things. He was. He was literally a nominee for, I think, Best IRL Streamer.
Something like that, yeah.
Hasan wasn't. So that doesn't even make any sense. This guy has Hasan fanboy brain, okay? And he continues on saying, don't get me wrong, you're a piece of crap who sold out your whole audience to an illegal gambling site, and nothing you do can ever make amends for the $100 million of your own fans' losses that paid for your contract. But you were in the last 2 vids I edited for the Streamer Awards, so it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. Ladies.
Hasan's editor literally just pulled out a cinder. Ausinox literally just pulled a cinder on XQC. And we thought that the Streamer Awards hated VTubers. They're their own editors pulling a cinder on one of the nominees. Oh my God. It's nothing personal, XQC. It's just business.
And gentlemen, it's nothing personal as I attack you and somehow blame XQC for a scenario that didn't happen, I guess. But anyways, here's the last one. He says he cooked something, but it's his concurrent viewers. Keep leeching off the FaZe Kid's brother. You can save it. So also, there's a bias towards FaZe, who was featured throughout the nominee list as well.
Oh, for God's sake.
So yeah, that's Hasan's editors right here, really proving that they're not completely and utterly captured by their dear leader, Hasan Piker. But yeah, that was the Streamer Awards and everything going on with some of the participants and some of the drama continued here. But for now, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, and you thought the Streamer Awards were bad before. Like, every day, there was more and more coming out about the Streamer Awards that shows just how much of an absolute shit show it was. Every day, we're getting something new.